Well,
All right,
you got
this is
those
Monday Night
questions?
Men's Forum. I'm Matt, Farm Up Life, and I have a sinus infection.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, or something. I don't know.
Or something. You
Who are
need
you?
some garlic. I'm Jeremy. Do we like donuts? Did I spell it
Oh,
right? I had to like re-enter it all. I did. I
why?
did spell it right. New computer.
Oh, fancy boy.
Yeah. Well, my company changed our laptops, and we're now owned by a big company, and I can't use my work computer for stuff like this.
Gotcha. So you were doing all that on company equipment. Nice, but not
Yeah, why
anymore.
not? Not anymore.
We could do a raw garlic challenge. Just do it live.
We could.
I'm not gonna, but we could.
We could. I would recommend fermented garlic before that. It's a whole lot easier.
I know. I have. We've got the fermented garlic that's in the honey, but what we have is it garlic and onions?
No, that's just onions.
That's just onions.
So I've heard good things about that too.
Yeah, I don't need to do the raw garlic.
Just chug the whole thing, man.
Oh gosh, mix garlic and onions, and
then chase it with some fire cider and apple cider vinegar or something.
these are all things that we have. We have fire cider too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It'll burn all the way down and through and out.
Beat me to it.
Yep.
How long has this been going on?
Oh, it was really bad yesterday, but I've been getting it on and off for like months. So like it'll just be like a day where just my nose is just like running like crazy, and working outside, just moving a lot helps a lot. And then all of a sudden I stop and it comes right back. It's really weird.
Huh?
Yeah.
What are you eating? Sorry, we just jumped right into like a diagnosed Matt, but
I'm not eating. What am I eating
now?
Like
no. Sorry. Like, are you eating like high carbs, a lot of dairy, a lot of eggs, stuff like that?
I think I do have a lot of dairy, actually.
Some people say that bothers them. Yeah, just a thought.
There's their sign. Oh,
allergies. Yep.
Could be.
A lot of dairy and eggs linked to allergies for some people.
Hey, we got Grant too. Let's see if his microphone's behind his computer.
I'm on my phone. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Are you at the property?
No, I'm up at Destiny's house. We've been carpooling to and from work and splitting time at each other's houses.
Hey, you know what? I'm sorry, this is so random, but what y'all getting married, right?
May 18th.
So when y'all have a kid, it'll be Destiny's Child. Sorry, I'm done.
She's right here. She heard that. She's cringing.
Does she even know who Destiny's Child is? Because that's like 20 years old.
She said yes.
Oh,
I don't know who that is.
What?
You don't know who Destiny is?
You don't know who Destiny's Child is when you have a child?
No.
All right.
I'm gonna make that joke like every week now.
Moving along. Jeremy, let's see. I think we got together like 3 weeks ago. So what's happened?
Man, I don't have any like real big like personal events. Just a bunch of little things, I guess. But
let's hear
one of the big things that I did, I say big things that like exciting to me is that I propagated elderberry, rosemary, and lavender, and put them in water. They sprouted roots, and all of them have taken off now. So like, and I did it like in the fall. So like you're supposed to like let them go dormant. So I don't know. We'll see what happens in the spring and the summer if they just like get exhausted and die. But so that was pretty cool. Like they're out in the garage under the grow light. My garage has purple lights. Like I'm growing stuff in there. I'm sure that the neighbors think I'm growing something else in there.
That's funny because like when I started stuff in my shed last year, and like I got a gap between my shed doors, and so it's just like bright pink. Just wonder what he's doing in there, but it doesn't stink.
Yep.
So
right. And then everything else just work, man. Like it's work has been a bear the last few weeks. We went this massive migration as part of our acquisition, and It's been busy. It's been good. Like there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So that's when we started. I said just been busy, and that's it, man. It's just work.
Yeah.
Need to be able to cut it off in the evenings, and I need brighter. I need days to be longer, so that I can actually get outside after work and do stuff.
Yeah.
You should just move your setup outside.
My work setup.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I still have to like stop and do stuff.
Yeah.
I have to
Stay
like
outside.
I would still have to work though. I mean like anytime like outside of work, so I'm saying. To do stuff.
Fair enough. I was just thinking about daylight.
Oh yeah, I mean I need daylight too, but yeah.
Nice.
Like I need
Grant.
like, be able to go ahead.
Yes.
What's up? What are you doing?
I got a job.
About time. Sorry.
So I'm finally at a point now in school, so I'm not at school every day anymore. So I'm only there on Tuesdays. So I'm pulling a full-time job at a plant nursery in Ringo. There's 5 acres of greenhouses, and I'm running production. Well, assistant to production. So I'm running the machine. We're planting anywhere between 20 to 50,000 plants a day.
Oh.
Wow.
So yeah, it's work, you know.
What's your carbon output?
Dude, I don't even know. Look, I enjoy it. I enjoy
saw that
being
video.
there, all that stuff. I'm so over the people. I got called in to have a meeting with the nursery manager and then the district manager over an incident, and it was just once they explained it, I started laughing. Like I bumped into somebody, and somehow that got told to somebody, so now I have to have a sit down with the manager and the district manager and then address this issue. And I literally am in this meeting. They wouldn't tell me what it was about. And I'm like, can you tell me what it's about? And I'll probably remember it. And she said no, but she asked me to say it. And then she just quietly like shook her head and didn't say anything. And I just started laughing because I'm like, this is the stupidest thing.
Because you bumped into somebody?
Yes. My hand
okay.
bumped into somebody.
Where'd you put it?
Like
Yes. So, but it's like on the production line, there's
Enough
2
said.
foot. There's 2 foot of space. There's 2 feet of space, and we're moving fast. We're just planting. We were planting snapdragons and hanging baskets, but the snapdragons were in 3.4,
That was romantic.
4.3 inch pots, and it's like we're just working, and it's like it's just a bunch of short women, and it's like it was retarded. And then I was taking plants home.
And what about the plants home?
I was taking plants home, and then someone, I think it was a grower.
Plants.
No, they were trash. One of the growers said it was unfair that we got to take plants home, which these plants, I was just throwing them in a pile on the floor to sweep them up and throw them in the trash later, because I don't have a trash can. The trash can is all the way down at the other end of the conveyor belt. So I'm just throwing them in the floor because I don't care. And so I got told on because they thought I was taking them home and they thought it was unfair. So now it's been abruptly made clear that if you take them home, that you're not supposed to, and that's considered theft. Which I'm like,
welcome to corporate America, Grant.
Dude, this place isn't even big enough to be corporate. It's retarded.
Welcome to retarded corporate America, Grant.
Yeah, you can't say that word.
Put them in the trash.
I can say that word because I'm retarded.
So put them in the trash and then put in a bid to be garbage pickup. And then they can pay you to be garbage pickup, and then you can get the plants out of the trash. Now you can get paid
That's
take
what I
the
was.
plants on.
That's what I
Well,
was gonna say. You
but-
should start your own garbage company, and-
Dude, I am. So
See?
that's what, but it's not for the plugs. It's for the dirt. They throw away like dump trucks full of dirt.
You buying a
So
dump truck now?
I don't know. I may probably start with like a dump trailer. I've been thinking about it not just for this, but if you can get contracts with like a grocery store or like other big box stores to get their organic waste,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and then I can turn that organic waste into compost and either turn around and sell it as a premium product or to just use it for myself. So because they don't want to just give it out to the random public, but if I bring a bin, I pick up the bin, and either I pay you per pickup, because that's the thing. It's like they don't want to give it away; they'd rather just throw it away. But if you bought it to them at like 25% of their original cost, it'd still be worth it because all you have to do is let it age, and then it's still perfectly good peat moss. So I'm still thinking it over. I haven't really had an interaction with anybody important that I could mention that to see if they would be up to doing it.
All of a sudden, all this stealing sounds really complicated.
Y'all,
It was more
they're
fun
letting
when it was
me-
just stealing.
Well, she's let my boss is letting me take home like a tote of dirt every single day. Like she don't care. It's the dirt is trash, but it's specifically the plugs. And when they said that, I just looked at her and said, "Then tell me how much they'll cost, because I'll buy every one that comes through the door." And then now everybody else is wanting to buy them. I'm like, okay, but they never got anybody back with a price. So it's fine. I enjoy it. I'm collecting a lot of different types of plants. There's like 4 or 5 different varieties of thyme that I have now, and then a couple different varieties of mint and sage. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
Hey, when are you gonna let me come over and get some of those fig trees that you propagated?
If you're serious about that, it would probably need to be sometime after March.
I might be. I'll buy them from you. But yeah.
I mean, I'll just give them to you if you come get them.
Okay. Okay.
Hold on. Now, if I was Grant, I would somehow try to get in the middle of this transaction that doesn't involve me and can go on without me just fine. So let's see. I think I will trade Grant the fig trees for some chicken manure, and then I'll give Jeremy the fig trees in exchange for his fan hat. So there,
Off
Yeah.
limits. Off limits.
just buy a second one
So I got 6 ducks today.
from the
I'm
park.
getting, I'm getting 14 more tomorrow. So there's
Are you
that.
stealing them?
No,
Are you
okay.
back to stealing ducks?
Oh, dude, I wish they make it so hard because every night they all get in the water and then they'll just sit in the water. They don't.
Swim shorts on, man. Get in the water with them.
Cold
No.
plunge.
I'd I'd back my canoe up, and I'd rather get in my canoe and with a cast net before I swim.
Have you ever been
So
in cold plunge?
me?
Either one of you.
No.
No, not a dedicated cold plunge. I've just been in cold water before.
Yeah.
I want to do one. I don't know that I'll ever do it, but I want to.
Just do
I want
ice
to, but I
bath.
don't want to. Yeah, it's the same thing basically. I mean,
Yeah, but you can do it at home like whenever.
well, I would do the cold plunge at home. Like I'm not gonna go somewhere. Like
All right, so my personal event is
hey Matt, what's your personal event for the week?
Yeah,
2
what,
weeks,
what
3.
happened, man? What
got
happened
rid of
in the
my
last
chickens.
3 weeks?
I gave away all my chickens last weekend. Was that last weekend? Yep, that was last weekend. So I was real sick of
you
them. They
gave
were
them
holding me
away?
back. Just gave them away. Just put them up on Craigslist, free, must take by the next Friday, or they're all going in a stew pot. And within 2 hours, I had like 5 people, wanting them. And the guy that came to get them showed up in a Prius and got stuck in the ditch, just like off my driveway. So that was really funny. I pulled them out. It's fine. Anyways, they're 7 months old and they still have not laid a single egg. So I think this is a lot more my fault than their fault. First, I got the chicks in June. And so if you do the math, 18 weeks, should have started laying around Halloween. Bad timing.
Yeah,
Really
not
bad
enough light
timing.
hours.
When we had the chicks and we moved them to the coop outside instead of like a brooder, they were in the coop and the old hens were running around in the chicken run. I think I left the chicks in the coop too long, like because I didn't want to try to integrate the two. I just kept them separate. And so they just like it was like their prison, like basically like their prison. Like they're like, I don't really want to go outside. Oh, there's feed out there. I guess I'll go out to eat and then come back right away. They were really bad about being outside. And then with the longer days, I tried to, do a light. So they have 14 hours of light to stimulate laying. And I had it come on and then it just like shut off. It wasn't like a gradual shutdown for 14 hours. It was like lights off. Oh, it's dark already. So I think that messed them up too. I had 2 roosters for a while. That probably didn't help. And
so you tortured your chickens basically.
I just did like everything wrong pretty much. So I didn't, on the Craigslist post, I did not promise like that they were laying, just that they're laying hens.
Laying age.
Laying-ish. They should be laying. So I don't really care. Yeah, your mileage may vary. Yeah, I don't really care what the next people do with them. Anyways, so that situation brought up this topic is like, are you actually planning to win and be successful this year, or are you gonna like let stupid stuff hold you back? Like, it took me a little bit of time to just get over the fact that we don't have chickens right now, or like won't have chickens. It's like, oh man, I don't want to lose my homesteader badge. I better hold on to these chickens. And like, what if they do start laying? We've put all this money into them. What if they start laying? But like, what if they don't? Then you just keep pumping money into them. So chickens had to go. I think I've shared this before that I'm taking this course to redesign my property. So we're basically just starting over. I've got the guy that I'm working with, my I don't know, my mentor, I guess. What happened to Grant? Whatever. Bye, Grant. He's in Croatia. And so I have a 5 a.m. call with him on Wednesday to go over my rough draft. I think we went over this draft last time.
Yeah, we looked at it.
Blah, blah, blah. So yeah, we're going to go over that.
Your zones and all that.
Yeah, and I want to key in on a couple of different things, like specifics. So that's how I'm planning to win.
So are you planning to reintegrate your chickens at some point?
Yeah, so one of the comments that he made was like, hey, I'd rather not have your chickens just in a coop. I'd rather see them integrated in your food forest. I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. I can make that adjustment. No problem. And so I completely cleaned out the chicken coop this weekend to make my compost.
Which took you like 3 days.
It took me 2 half days. Yep. It was a lot of work. I'm very sore. But it's the most compost I've ever made. It is like 6 feet by 6 feet by 4 foot high. However much that is, it's a lot.
6, but yeah. So I saw the video. Didn't get a chance to comment and respond to your text earlier, but I did see the video. And I was like, when you told me that it took you like a full day to do it, I'm like, well, that's why, because it's a gigantic compost pile.
Well, that's what I I let you know I posted that video because it sounded like you were gonna laugh at me. Like,
I was.
why
I
is
totally
your-
was.
why is
Because,
your
like-
compost taking so long, idiot?
Although mine it's 4x4 by 4. I mean, it's a 4x4 pallet. So
Yeah,
it's not significantly smaller. It took, I mean, to fill it up, a few hours. Now you were also cleaning out your coop, and you were
which is how I make my compost. So like I do the deep litter method, and once a year I take it all out and pile it up. I don't want to do that anymore.
No.
That chicken coop might turn into like a sheep barn or something going
Well, but
forward.
if you're going to integrate your chickens into the permaculture design, then you don't have.
Right. So the chickens are going to be somehow integrated in the food forest. Like I might like tractor them. I don't know. That's one of my questions I got to ask. So,
I mean, chickens actually roost in trees naturally. So
yeah,
you could just let them be free range chickens, find their own shelter.
I just got to,
You might lose a few.
I mean,
of
they're
them.
going to be like younger trees. So I got to protect them from
That's
deer and
true.
stuff too.
Yeah, that's true. You need a Great Pyrenees guard dog or something.
I could. I should have just taken up Padre on his 2 Great Pyrenees puppies. Instead, he gave him to Grant.
He gave him to Grant. Were they Great Pyrenees?
Yep.
Where did he go? Usually he comes right
I don't
back.
know. Yeah,
Oh, well.
usually. Don't forget,
well.
he's at his fiance's house.
Mm.
So, what about you? What do you got planning on being successful this year?
Man, I don't. That's the problem is I don't have a whole lot of plans this year. I just don't. It's
Just more of the same.
More of the same. But honestly, I mean, like as a failure, I mean, like I've been so consumed with my job for the last 6 months that I barely kind of got through the end of last year, and then, to be honest, we kind of let towards the end of the growing season last year just kind of let it all just tank because I didn't have. There's only so many hours in a day, and at the end of the day, you got to take care of your family, which in my case is my job, and it just consumed me, and it has up until now, to be honest with you. And of course, I lost my dad at the end of last year, so that's about a month and a half ago. So that's kind of derailed a lot of stuff. But it's all excuses, is what that is. But not, I do need to get that stuff out of the way, get the distractions out of the way, and plan on what I am going to do this year. And we had a pretty decent sized garden last year, and I'll do something at least the same size, maybe a little bit bigger. Plant some more trees. Plant some more perennials, more than anything. Trees, bushes. Like I said, I got the elderberry, some rosemary, some lavender, trying to grow some. I've never been able to grow lavender from seed. I can't ever get it to germinate. So I took cuttings from my sister-in-law around Halloween and propagated to put them in water, and they barely kind of grew roots, but they're doing all right. But trying to integrate a lot more of that, and what about 3-4 weeks ago when we our last podcast, you were talking about the permaculture, the food forest, and I've got a the food forest books. It's a 2-book series. I can't remember the name of it. Forest gardening, basically, but it's the first book is
It's a
an
2-volume set, right?
yeah. One of them's over there. Maybe not. Maybe they're both upstairs. But one is like the first volume is kind of theory, and then the second volume is like, okay, here's how you do it. And I've had those for a while, so I actually picked those up and started reading those. And part of my dilemma is, where are we long term? Because so you are the
Is
house
this
that
it?
you're at right now. Yep, that's it. Edible Forest Gardens.
Edible Forest Gardens by David Jackie.
Yep. And phenomenal. I mean, I'm only through the first book, but I've skimmed the second book, but it's phenomenal as far as what info it gives you, and it's really exhaustive.
So it's worth $100, you'd say?
I believe it is.
Okay. Yeah,
I
because
believe it.
that's on my list because that's my mentor. That's what he recommended
Yeah.
in this course is like to get these books. I'm like, $100.
It's
All right.
They're expensive. They're expensive, but I'm not even halfway through the first, and even just the amount of detail that they go into is phenomenal. But like I said, I've had them for the better part of a year, and I've skimmed them, and I've read a little bit here and there, and kind of jumped around. But I'm like, okay, I need to sit down and read these start to finish. And so that is a goal of mine, is to finish that 2-book series this year, and because it's not like it's not sitting down and reading like a fiction book where you just get lost in the pages. I mean, it's technically,
It's like a science book.
yeah, it takes a lot of reading.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of focus to sit down and read that. And so, like, that is my goal, is to finish that 2-book series this year and implement some of the, not some, but a lot of those principles. So your our last podcast, you gave a lot of motivation to that. I guess it was kind of a jump starter. I was like, yeah, I need to get back on that bandwagon. But the problem is that I don't know how long we're going to stay here. And that's
Yeah. And then,
but then what if I'm here for 15 more years? And then
right.
I
That's
put
what
it
I was
off?
going to say.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Oh, man. Imagine how many years of fruit I could have gotten from these trees or
Exactly.
nuts
Exactly.
had I just planted back in 2024. Oh, man. What a great
know.
year that was.
So, but similar thing happened to me a few years ago. Is I had bought some pear trees and bare root pear trees, put them in some pots, let them root soil, get them established. And I mean, they were small pots, but and I let them sit, and they almost died because like, I don't know how long we're going to be here. I don't know how long we're going to be here. And I finally just said, forget it. I'm going to put them in the ground. So they're sitting over here in the ground on the other side of this wall, and they should bear fruit this year.
Nice.
I'm like, if I just let them sit, they'd have died, or what? Because you don't know what the future holds. So just, you can't let those things. So yeah, what's holding me up? What am I not going to let? What was the question again? Planning to win.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let that hesitation get in my way, and so I'm just going to plant stuff this year. And
You could just dig it up if you do end up moving. Like, okay, so I got a 4-foot tree or whatever.
yeah, it's already like 7 foot tall, but yeah,
No?
8 foot tall. So it's but yeah, no, but I planted two dwarf apple trees, an all-in-one almond tree, peach tree, which I don't expect the peach tree to make it. I'm gonna try. 2 not dwarf apple trees. I planted I planted 3 fig trees last year, but only one of them made it. I think that was about it. So like, I've got a bunch of trees back on the back side of the property back there. Are they in food forest style? I mean, no. I mean, there's not necessarily permaculture principles that I followed in putting them back there, but I can come in and plant the some other layers underneath them. I just haven't done that yet. So that will be on my list of things to do this year, is to get some more diversity back there with those trees, to bring in some of the beneficial insects and pollinators and the biodiversity that's needed for everything to survive.
Are you said insects, and it reminded me of a message I saw Padre post on Telegram. Are you in the cicada zone this year? Do you know?
I don't even know. That's how little I care about it.
You've heard about this though?
Oh yeah, like 13-year cycle or something.
13-year overlaps with the 17-year this year, and it's gonna be nuts. Biblical, apparently.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
It is. It's gonna be cool for everybody that isn't me
in the zone. Isn't you? Oh yeah. How do you even spell cicada?
CIC something.
Yeah, there you go. What happens if I was just Google cicada zone?
One of the other things that I started last year on planning to win was that I reduced these men's forums from every week to every other week, and then now to like every 3 weeks. And that's actually been really good for just family time.
No, that's a good point. So I think we've talked about this before, but last year we did a no electronics Sunday,
Yeah, I did see that.
and we've kind of fallen off of it a little bit, and we've tried to kind of pick it up. But yeah, like that's cutting back on so many things because we get so consumed in technology and just watching TV and sports and gardening and homesteading and all that kind of stuff too. What are you doing it for? Spend time with your family, and it's sometimes some days there's just like I need alone time, I need me time, but you got to make time to spend time with your family.
Yeah.
And me, I take on too much stuff. Like I can't say no. That's one of my problems. Like, oh yeah, I can do that. Sounds like a great idea.
Can you give me a couple of examples?
Website. Like I'm designing a website right now. No,
I think you told me that.
Yeah, I'd pay a few $1,000s, and it'll pay me about $400 a month to maintain it. It's good money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but time. Like, why is that time more valuable than me focusing on homesteading and on my social media stuff? Yeah, and that's what do I really want to make do I really want to make a success out of the social media? What is that long-term goal?
Yep.
Yeah, so you can't say no there. I don't know, man. There's a lot of stuff that I just like. Oh, that sounds like a great idea. Let's chase that idea this week. You ever do that?
Oh, dude, I probably have like 5 ideas that I like every week. Just like, oh man, I could make money doing that. Oh, I could make money doing that. Just like get like all these like I forget pretty much all of them. But
does it drive your wife nuts?
Oh yeah, because she's gotten it down to like a science on just like dismissing the ideas.
Wait,
just
you
like,
or her?
Sorry?
You or her? Dismissing.
She's gotten good at dismissing the ideas. Just like
so is my wife. So is my wife.
Well, because she goes, we were talking about something the other day. She's like, you know how much shit we would have if I just said yes to everything that you wanted to do?
How poor
No,
we'd be because
no, I don't. Look at all the stuff we'd have. We'd have an excavator and a tractor, and
yeah, how poor you'd be because you spent money on everything.
Yeah, we'll get there someday though. Like I've been drawing plans for it's like an detached garage. I don't know how to make it's attached to the house, but you can't get there through the house. You have to go outside.
Why not just attach it so you can
because
go to
where it would sit is on the back side of the kitchen. And I don't want to lose cabinet space just to go to the garage. You can just walk outside. It would be like 12 feet outside, and there's a garage door.
But you may get cold and wet. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, so that's like another thing we're planning for. We're trying to have less stuff, but we also need better organization for the stuff that we do have and the stuff that we're going to keep.
Yeah. Well, I'm afraid to get rid of stuff because as soon as I get rid of stuff, that's when I realize that I need it. And it drives my wife nuts. Because there's been so many times where I'm like, oh man, I wish I still had that. But then there's been times where I'm like, man, I'm glad I didn't get rid of that.
Yeah.
But then there's stuff that's been sitting in there since we got married 15 years ago.
It does feel really good though to load up your truck and take a bunch of junk to the dump and just get rid of it. Oh man, it feels really good. You know what? I didn't need all that shit. Glad it's gone. The yard will look good for about a week, and then I'll replace it with more junk.
I struggle with having the perfectly clean manicured lawn. I can't, and it's I used to, like when we first got married. We had a house. We lived in an HOA, and like the yard was pristine. Had somebody come and spray it with chemicals. That was before I was like, oh,
Yeah.
well, that's not good. And now it's like, yeah, there's blue 55-gallon drums laying around the backyard. Who cares? So,
Oh, we
but
should
yeah,
we should do a TikTok live and just like show off the yard. Like
how bad
anybody
it is.
else? Anybody else? Like
Mhm.
I got that homemade rock screen sitting in the backyard.
Is that where you're
Burn
sifting rocks?
barrel. Yep, my rock sifter. Yep, I got that sitting back there. Got I got this table that I made that it was my desk when we first started doing this. It was my desk, and then it turned that room is now like mother-in-law room, and so that I took out the desk in one piece and brought it outside. So now it has like deer parts all over it because I was starting to skin the skull to do like a
Mhm.
European mount on the deer that I got. I
You
got
should've
just
just
like I got like
let your chickens have
ears
at 'em.
and that was actually the one thing that chickens did okay at was cleaning up that carcass. I've got the rib cage to that thing sitting out back.
Mhm.
I got my old pressure tank. We had to get our pressure tank replaced a couple months ago. That's sitting back there. Railroad ties, my crappy old garden beds, just all these fun things. They're just 5-gallon buckets just everywhere.
Matt Clampett. Got it.
What's that?
Said it's Matt Clampett. Like the Clampets, like you're the Clampett. Like, yeah, never mind.
I don't know what that means.
All right. European Mountain. Have you ever? So I have a friend that he takes his deer skulls and puts them in an ant bed. Have you ever done that?
Yeah, no.
Just put it in an ant bed, and the ants will clean it. Takes
What
time.
I did do one time is I had a ram skull. We had bought a lamb and had it processed, and they're like, "Hey, do you want the skull and the hide?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And I totally butchered the hide. I'm like trying to get it clean and everything. It ended up just basically throwing it away, meaning like just throw it in the yard somewhere. And then mice like make nests out of its hair. It's really beneficial to me to have more mice around. But anyway, so I took the skull and one of my compost piles. What?
Why is it beneficial to have more mice around, or is that sarcasm?
Sarcasm.
Good. That's all right. I was.
Well, that's
confused.
That's all I can think of when I see all these tufts of hair. It's like
Dang
mice are gonna make piles and homes out of this shit. So I took the skull though to that little ram. It was just like a little forky kind of guy, and I put it right in the middle of that compost pile. And that compost pile needs to sit for like 3 months. And so after 3 months, I started filling my garden beds, and I came across that skull. It actually cleaned up pretty good, just from the heat and breaking down of tissues and stuff like that. But like the little, so I don't know if you've seen like a horn, like mug type thing, like a mug from a Vikings horn cup thing.
Yep.
So it was like that. So there's like the skull is actually like up inside. It starts to grow up inside the horn, but the black part to the horn comes off like a cap. Like it's like a little like slips right on there. Yeah, pretty weird.
I didn't know that. Now I saw a guy the other day on Instagram. He had one. It was so unexpected too. Like it just, I don't know how this stuff gets through, but he or how it doesn't get like it would have never gotten okayed on TikTok. They had to like cut that one. But he's like, "Oh, here's my chicken. It's not doing well." I came out the next day and it still wasn't doing well. He goes, "Okay," so he picks it up, shoves it upside down, chops his head off, throws it in the compost. I'm like, "What?" Like there was like I was like, I'm okay with like the butchering of animals and all, but like I wasn't ready for it. Like it was
just really fast.
It really was, but I've never heard of someone putting a whole chicken in a compost, because usually you don't put meat and stuff like that in your compost. That's not typically what you do.
Sure. I did just see somebody dump their cow in a compost pile. Like the cow had
cow.
like just recently died, and they put it in the compost pile. And I think Joel Salatin has done that too.
That wouldn't surprise me, but unless I was gonna say, but why not eat the cow unless there's some disease that it's got or something, you know?
I think if you don't know why it died,
Yeah,
it's probably a good idea not to eat it.
yeah, that's probably a good idea. Or probably not
Like-
a good idea.
Avian
Like I wouldn't eat a
flu,
chicken.
whatever. I'll
Yeah,
eat that shit.
overrated. No, but it's a good point though. Like if I've had chickens die, just unexpected. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what they got that. I don't want that chicken that bad.
You even question like giving it to your dog. Like you might just give him the runs or something. I don't know.
In bad case of the runs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You
just
got
toss them off
that-
the cliff.
that mistake just trailing all through your house.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I need to. Speaking of cows, I want to get on that. I need to get on the list to buy another cow this year. Another pig and another cow.
Didn't you like just fill your freezer?
I did, but it takes about a year.
Oh, gotcha.
So where I got it from, it's you get on the list and you pay a. Actually, I don't even think I paid a deposit. I only paid the deposit when I went to select my cuts of meat. But it took about a year.
Gotcha.
And we've had that in the freezer now since August, and but I'm going to try to eat a lot more meat though. I don't know if I've even thought about going like carnivore diet for a minute. Have you done that?
No, I'm pretty bad with diets. Like I'll usually stick to something. It's not like just meat or, vegetarian or whatever. It's usually like a lot of meat, proteins, fats, and then like all my carbs seems to come from like fruits. Fruits are just heavy with carbs. And I like having something sweet, so it's kind of tough to cut out. It'd be tough to cut out fruit.
Yeah, I would struggle with it, but I've thought about it for like some of that. I've heard people talk about like the health benefits of the carnivore diet. Well,
Yeah,
Chris has talked about it. Christopher's talked about it a lot.
yeah. I meant to call him today, but I called in sick to work, so I was at home.
Oh, with the old sinus infection. But again, yeah. But so back to the sinus infection, like what you eat,
I don't know. I
Thanks.
have been eating a little bit more junk lately. Like my wife brought home some bagged popcorn, and man, that was really good. Like I ate so much of it, and we were like,
bagged popcorn,
it was
like the processed stuff. Wait, so you mean that you're not eating just strictly from your property?
maybe I'll plant popcorn this year. Plan to win. What is this? What is that stuff? Lesser Evil is the brand, and it's like that Himalayan salt
I don't know.
in avocado oil popcorn, whatever. Is pretty good.
So it was healthy,
Yeah, it's supposedly healthy, but
supposedly.
junk like that. So like I'll be like really strict for a while, and then I'll just like fall off. It's just like nah.
I do that.
I want this to eat, and then after a while, I'm like, damn it, just do better, and then I'll do better, and then I'll fall back. And I did start working out though. I started working out yesterday, so it's like this. There's like this app. It's like 10 minutes of just body weight workouts. No weights, no gym. Just like, hey, it's more like tough stretching. It kind of feels like, but like, you do like a couple Supermans and lunges and knee
Like,
to elbow
like-
things.
Calisthenics or whatever it's called.
I think so.
Yeah.
What are you staring at? What was that?
I had written something up here. It was something was covering it. So the whole planning to win thing. I had heard this quote. It's not really a quote per se, but something that someone had said. But I made a comment on one video that let's talk about the cold plunges.
Yeah.
I was like, I've wanted to do those. Maybe I'll get to it one day. And then the response was, growth doesn't know, maybe. I'm like, well, that's pretty good. I'm going to write that down. Because I can't tell you how many times I say, oh, maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll get around to it.
Yep.
If you say maybe, you ain't going to do it.
That's true.
So, I don't know. That just made whatever you said, maybe just think of that. And I was like, oh, that's behind that piece of paper.
Whatever you said.
Yeah. Well, because
I don't even
immediately
remember what I said.
Yeah. Working out.
Yep.
Working out. Yeah.
Yep. I bet like having it's like kind of a slow time at work right now. And so that's why thankfully I haven't gone anywhere. But then I'm like more desk work, not so much physical stuff. And it's just I need to, and like especially like this time of year at the homestead, I guess, if you want to call it that, like it's when the weather's not good, it's hard to find stuff to do to, plan for this coming season, like this coming year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, man, I'm stuck inside. Like I could just get like super like irritable. Just like I just want to be outside. And like when it was -20, I was out there. I was making work basically. I was just cutting up with all these little blocks for my kids to play with, and one of them kicked back on the table saw and hit me right in the cheek.
You didn't even feel it because you were numb.
Actually, it probably helped that it was cold. But man, dude, I thought like I was gonna be bleeding or busted a tooth. Whoops. But no.
So there was a video that I made, just kind of poking fun at it being, because it was like 11 degrees here, which it doesn't get that cold here, but like once a year. Usually, like, I mean, it's 42, it's 39 right now.
Nice.
We don't get below and stay below freezing for more than a couple of days max ever. And so it was like 11 degrees. And I was like, the only good thing about being this cold is that I can wear my nice shoes out of the chicken coop because it's frozen. Everything's frozen, even the chicken poop. It's not like I'm not tracking anything back in.
That's funny.
And so Sarah, plain and tall, I don't, she joined us on a live that we did, that TikTok live, talking about live stuff. She had commented on that post and said something about it's a mindset, talking about the cold. It's a mindset and a lifestyle, and she goes, "We love it. There's always so many things to do," and I'm just like, I don't see it. Like, and I'm sure like I don't live in it. I have no idea. I can't speak to it, but I'm just thinking like it's so cold. I don't want to be outside. It's dark at night. But I guess for some people, like they love it.
Yeah, that's me. I like just going out at night when there was like, it was cold and there's snow on the ground. It was just, everything was just quiet, super quiet.
That would be nice and peaceful. Of course, now there's all the bullfrogs now back here because it's rained and it was back up into the 70s last week. So all the frogs in the property behind me.
Yeah, it was 52 here today. And so let's see, was it Sunday or Saturday? I was actually out, short t-shirt and sandals. It was a good day.
See, like I would take that any day. Like I would take the 50s, 60s.
Yep.
I can't do the negative. I don't even know that I know what negative temperatures feel like.
Have you ever lived outside of the South?
Heck no.
Born and raised in Alabama?
Georgia, born in Georgia, raised in Alabama. I've never lived outside of Alabama or Georgia. Yep.
That's fine. Just curious.
Yep. I've never I don't know that I've ever been up north for a snow event.
A snow event.
I mean, like that's what we call them down here, snow events. I'm just kidding. I don't know. But like with like snow on the ground up north, like where there's like, hey, like legit snow. I've never.
Sure.
I just don't. I mean, I don't. I mean, it'd be fun, I guess, but I don't particularly love the snow. When we get it down here, I'm done with it in about 2 days.
That's usually how long it sticks around here, surprisingly.
Really?
Yeah. So like when I lived in Minnesota, this is another way to plan to win. Live where you like it. If you don't like it, move. When I lived in Minnesota, like it would just be like snow on the ground for like, 6-8 months, something like that. Somehow here, first off, it snows less.
But you're not any further north where you are now versus then or south. Y'all,
No, but it's
Okay.
it's precipitation.
right,
So,
right,
like,
right. But
So Minnesota's
it's
like,
just drier.
let's say
mountain,
call
huh?
it, yeah, it's like Minnesota's about 1,000 foot in elevation. I'm at like 35 or so, 3,500.
You're at 3,500. Wow.
About, yeah. Which I thought it'd be higher, but that stuff is safe for like Colorado and stuff where you got like, Mile High City, right? But
Shit,
yeah,
about 800.
less precipitation. So, and then the sun, I cannot explain it. The sun is like super intense here all year. It doesn't, there'll be overcast days. Obviously, you don't get the sun, but like days like today, I was like sweating, just standing at my table saw, just like working. And I have a sweatshirt that is multicolors of gray because I had left it outside for like a week or so, and it just got bleached by the sun in that short amount of time. And
I
so
wonder if it's
that intensity of the sun just like melts away all that snow. So like it snows, maybe a couple inches, goes away in a couple days.
so it could even still be below freezing, and the sun will melt away the snow just because
Yeah.
of the intensity.
Yeah.
I wonder if the intensity is greater because of the elevation.
It's
Is it 30?
possible.
Because I'm at 800. 3,500 seems stupid high.
So like if you remember Little Pine Farmer,
Mm-hmm.
he's at like 8,800 feet.
I just don't ever think about it. I mean, like, because in the South, I mean, you got, I mean, you look at, we're at the foothills of the Appalachians. I mean, you get maybe up to 2,000, 1,500, 2,000 elevation. But I mean, there's not much around here that's higher than that.
Sure. But yeah, I can't remember what brought this on. I'm sure I was going somewhere with it, but I don't remember what it was.
I don't know. So planning to win. You need to make a plan if you want to plan to win. And that's probably where I've failed the most, is I don't really know what I even want to do this year.
Well, that's kind of like how people get stuck on a treadmill, right? They don't really know where they're going. They just keep doing something, and they don't really have a plan. So,
well, so what kicked off your plan this year with the permaculture stuff?
I was just tired of seeing it not be productive. And like, I felt like, I'm doing all these things. I had the chickens, I had the garden, we wanted to get goats. Nope, it was sheep. Nope, it was goats. Nope, now it's sheep. And like, it's like, we have no plan.
Spinning your wheels.
The other thing is I get analysis paralysis pretty bad. Like, I don't want to plant a tree in the wrong spot. What if it needed to be over here? Should I swale? Do I need swales? How should I make swales? How big are my, like how big do my swales need to be? All this stuff. Do I need key line design? Do I put my swale? Do I need one swale? Do I need like all these stupid questions, right? So I'm like, I just need to have a plan. Somebody please help me figure this out. And so through this course, it's like what is it that you actually want? Like, what do you have,
Mm-hmm.
and what do you want? How, and then, how are we going to get there? Okay, what's that look like? If you're trying to do like a farm stand that has flowers, like that was on our plan. What
For
does
y'all to
that
have a farm
what does that
stand?
look like?
For y'all to have a farm stand with flowers?
That's one of the things that my wife wanted, was that she
Cool.
wanted to sell flowers at a farm stand.
Nice.
So
So I guess that's where you really, you have to start with is what is your end goal? What is it that you want out of it? Not just, hey, I need to plant stuff and get my own food. And no, you need to think like, what is your end goal?
yeah, and I didn't want to fight fight nature anymore, really. Just like, because that compost video that I posted saying that I'm never going to do it again, because it is way too labor intensive, and it's way too material intensive. Like all those wood chips, like I bought those like 2 years ago, and I'm still working on that pile. But like I had to bring in all those wood chips.
Mhm.
That's not stuff that I have here. Like all the chicken feed,
And it doesn't spread
I have
itself.
to buy that. Yeah. What are the other things? I don't remember all the other inputs, but it's just too resource intensive.
Mhm.
So,
Which, I mean, that ties into that. You saw that video that I posted. I think you liked it or commented on the video that I posted about that article that was talking about how urban gardens are 5 or
yeah.
6 times more bad for the environment than traditional
Yeah,
agriculture.
5x carbon footprint or something
Something like that.
stupid.
Which
Yep.
there's so many holes that you can poke in that logic, but at the end of the day, though, I mean, yeah, the 30,000 foot view is all of these external inputs that you're putting into your garden. Is it necessary? Is it, whether or not it's good or bad for the planet? It's unnecessary if you can build a self-sustaining homestead, a food forest, a permaculture principles food forest, and it, you integrate your chickens into your food forest, and it be very, very low labor, and that's better for everyone.
Yeah, I'm trying to make things more passive this year.
Mm-hmm.
So
I need to figure out what my plans are for the year instead of spinning wheels. But,
yeah. Well, good luck with that.
yeah, no, I'm probably going to pick your brain. I would, in fact, maybe another episode would be for you to, especially after you have your call with your permaculture mentor, on philosophy with permaculture and design ideas, and to go through it and talk through it. And maybe you don't want everybody's opinion on your stuff, but
No, I definitely don't. But it's I mean, when you first take this course, it's like it has like the questionnaire, and just the questionnaire itself is like, man, maybe I don't want, like, does what I want actually fit in with the system, or do I even want that thing? Like, and it's all one of the other questions is like, how many hours a week can you dedicate to this thing? Well, my answer from the time I started the questionnaire to the end of last year, I cut it in half, because all of a sudden I got really busy at work. Like, okay, I thought I could give this thing, between my wife and I, like 40 hours a week. Now it's like
40 hours a week
of like being able to work on the property.
40 hours a week, though, on top
between
of
the two of us. Yeah.
Whew, that's just a lot of time.
Well, I wanted to get there fast.
Yeah.
But not going to happen. But yeah, I'd love to share what I learned, and it's going to be on Zoom. And so I'm hoping to record it and
Nice.
Publish it. So
Nice. I look forward to hearing more about it. And if you're happy with it, I may even try to do it myself once once we kind of figure out what our long-term goals are.
Yeah. Anything else you want to wrap up on?
No, man, you've this has been a good kick in the rear that I need to get my planning in order.
Good. I'm glad I helped one person.
One person, maybe somebody that watches this.
Maybe. I do see a little one in the corner. There is
It's probably
one person watching. It might be Grant or his fiance. Go ahead.
Destiny. Yep, Jeremy, do you like donuts? I'm on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitterverse. All those, I don't know. Anyway, at Do You Like Donuts? It's all the same. Nobody wants to copy that username.
They just want to steal your content.
They do. Homesteading, chickens, gardening. Hopefully more of that this year. Better content, more content. As I figure out how I'm planning to win.
Fan hat's coming out for the second season.
It for sure is, dude. On a bald head, that thing makes a huge difference.
You guys, I'm telling you, you guys got to see the fan hat. Just it's famous now.
It's a pinned video out there on the old Tickety Talk.
Tickety Talk. I am Matt DeRozier from hoplife.com. We're a traveling homestead family. That's the other thing. I'm planning on doing more homestead visits this year. Trying to.
Sweet.
Like, I have a scheduled in-person interview and helping out at a mushroom farm in my town. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah. That's where
Mushrooms,
I pick up
that's
all
a
my
good
spent
show.
mushroom blocks that I threw in my compost pile.
Nice.
So-
Mushrooms, that's something I need to learn about. Yep. Cool, man.
Yeah, we're a podcast. We do the interviews, this men's forum, and I do like a famous farmers series, which is like 5-minute little bios of famous farmers. My last one was Greg Judy. That I had to cut a lot out. But yeah, It was good. Check us
Awesome.
out. Well, we'll be back in like 3 weeks. So
Sweet.
good talking to you. Thanks for being here, and
man.
thanks Grant for showing up for like 5 minutes.
Well, maybe next
Just
time
like
it'll be
blah,
more
blah,
than the
blah,
Matt and Jeremy show.
That's right. The second I started talking, Grant leaves.
He did.
All right.
That's okay.
We'll see you guys next time.
Later.